Hi friends, I'm Priya and I am your press ambassador for the host committee for APEC. And I am so excited to welcome you to my San Francisco. Here is what you need to know about covering APEC while you're here. Before I dive into talking about APEC, let me tell you a little about San Francisco, the city that I love. Our iconic landmarks are known the world over: the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, our cable cars, and the famously curvy Lombard Street. We have the first and one of the largest Chinatowns in North America. When you wander the city streets, you can end up in Union Square or North Beach, Fisherman's Wharf, the Castro, Japantown, the Mission District, Ghirardelli Square, the Ferry Building, the Legion of Honor, or the Presidio, a national park site. And our demographics speak to our place as a gateway to the Pacific. 33% of San Franciscans are Asian, and we have a large Hispanic population as well. This year, the United States is serving as the chair economy for APEC, and San Francisco is honored to be the host city. The APEC Leaders meeting will bring together thought leaders, heads of state, and stakeholders to engage on global challenges. APEC is the most significant event with world leaders in San Francisco in recent history. In fact, the last time there was anything like this was 1945 at a United Nations gathering. This year's meetings will focus on the themes of sustainability, inclusivity, innovation, and resilience, all values held dear in San Francisco. And there will be many American leaders who will be here as well. President Joe Biden will be here, as will Vice President Kamala Harris. Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, will host the finance ministers meeting. And we'll also have Secretary of State Antony Blinken and United States Trade Representative Katherine Tai in town for the meetings. There are actually two different meetings in the same week. There is the APEC Economic Leaders Week from November 11th to the 17th. That's the government event with 21 world leaders and their delegations, and that is being hosted by the United States government. There's also a separate meeting called the APEC CEO Summit that's happening November 14th to the 16th. We expect 1,200 or so CEOs to come for that, along with many of their staff. All of the official APEC events are taking place in what's known as the Moscone Center. It is San Francisco's convention center. There will be crossover between the events. When you get your media credential, it provides you access to the International Media Filing Center that's going to be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, that credential will get you into the Moscone Center, but it does not provide you access to the individual meetings. Those you need to work out with your delegation from your country or from the U.S. State Department. In addition to everything there is to cover within the Moscone Center, San Francisco is also hosting a number of APEC-related community events throughout the week. The Bay Area Council has a 5-day event called APEC Meets California and Silicon Valley with a number of speakers planned. There is a 1-day conference being put on by Global SF called The Future Starts in California. The Commonwealth Club is putting on a 3-day multi-stakeholder forum. Restaurant Week is extending through the week of APEC with specially themed drinks and meals. This is just a little sampling of many of the events that will be happening all week long throughout San Francisco in the various neighborhoods. We have a couple options for how you can stay informed. One, you can follow Newsbridge SF on X, formerly known as Twitter, and we have information there that's updated regularly about things that are happening in San Francisco and the latest APEC-related news and conference updates. You can also follow our website and our newsletter. Our website is apec2023sf.org. You can sign up there for the newsletter. We're putting this out once a week so far, but even more frequently as we get closer and closer to the week of APEC itself. And you can contact us at media@apec2023sf.org.
Hello, I'm Ambassador Matt Murray, and I am honored to represent the United States as the Senior Official for Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC. We are on the brink of an important event for the United States and our economic engagement with the dynamic Asia-Pacific region, which is the upcoming APEC Economic Leaders Week in San Francisco. Hosting APEC 2023 provides the United States with the opportunity to shape trade policies and drive economic growth in a vibrant region, which represents nearly 40% of the world's population, almost half of global trade, and over 60% of the global economy. 7 of our top 10 trading partners are APEC members, and businesses from APEC member economies have invested more than $1.7 trillion in the United States, with these investments employing 2.3 million American workers. This trade and investment engagement underscores APEC's strategic role in our economic partnerships, as APEC remains the premier platform for advancing economic and trade policies, fostering innovative ideas, and supporting businesses, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises. By actively participating in regional and global value chains, SMEs overcome trade barriers, expand their presence, drive innovation, and access new markets. During the U.S. APEC host year in 2023, the United States has collaborated with partners to strengthen the international economic system. We've engaged thousands of stakeholders, including micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, labor groups, academics and students, indigenous and community leaders, and women-owned businesses, to gather insights on how we can deliver outcomes that benefit American workers, families, and businesses. The private sector has played a significant role in recognizing opportunities to leverage its expertise and advance shared regional goals. This engagement fosters mutual understanding, addressing challenges, and driving economic growth opportunities. After hosting APEC meetings in Seattle, Detroit, Palm Springs, and Honolulu earlier this year, we'll gather in San Francisco from November 11th to 17 to welcome the leaders, ministers, senior officials, and delegates of the 21 member economies under the banner of creating a resilient and sustainable future for all. Guided by this theme, our host year has focused on 3 key priorities to ensure a more interconnected, innovative, and inclusive APEC region. Starting the week, APEC senior officials will meet for the concluding meeting of the year to review and consolidate the work and initiatives undertaken throughout 2023. Then, U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen will chair the Finance Ministers meeting, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken and U.S. Trade Representative Ambassador Catherine Tai will host their foreign and trade counterparts for the APEC ministerial meeting. And closing out the week, President Biden will chair the APEC Economic Leaders meeting, which will serve as the platform for establishing a strategic vision and directives for regional collaboration in the upcoming year. Leaders Week will also include the APEC Business Advisory Council Dialogue with Leaders, the CEO Summit, the inaugural APEC Multi-Stakeholder Forum, and many other events organized by the private sector, civil society, academia, and nonprofit organizations. We look forward to a week of impactful discussions and partnerships that will help create a resilient and sustainable future for all. And we're grateful for our partnership with the City of San Francisco, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much.
In 2020, we set ourselves the vision, really building on the previous work, all the years of looking at the BOGO goals, for example. You know, during the time of the BOGO goals, we were really focused on trade and investment liberalization. We were focused on market access. Then when we were looking at our new vision, given that, you know, we reached the completion of the BOGO goals, we thought the world has changed so much. We've moved on, and aspects of the digital world, sustainability, these are important, and inclusive growth, not quite captured in the BOGO goals. So when we were looking at our new vision, these are aspects that we built into that. So the Putrajaya vision captures, APEC Putrajaya Vision 2040 captures these new elements of digitalization and sustainability and inclusive economic growth. New Zealand then fleshed out the vision, put it in the form. We worked with New Zealand during New Zealand's year to flesh out this vision and to have an action plan, a concrete action plan. And I always say you can have a vision, but if you do not have an action plan, then, you know, it doesn't make sense. it just stays, as someone said, it just stays a dream. So we've got that action plan in place, and when Thailand came in as host in 2021, they built on it, and they decided that, okay, we've done quite a bit. Let's really put some focus, some concrete deliverables for that year. Let's work to some concrete goals that matter to us. So and they got us to think through what it means to be sustainable and resilient for APEC. And so the biocircular green economy model was put in place, and we worked towards that with a clear focus on the inclusive aspect of our vision and the sustainability aspect of our vision. Now, this year, the US is taking it even further, giving more emphasis on the digitalization of aspects of our work, the sustainability aspects, specifically the just transition, because that just energy transition really translates back into the work that we're doing for inclusive growth. One of the strengths of APEC is our level of stakeholder engagement. We not only have stakeholder engagement with academia and civil society, but also with business, and not just with big business, but also small and medium enterprises. And in fact, discussions that we have with the APEC Business Advisory Council, for example, there is a work stream by APEC on facilitating the involvement of small and medium enterprises, micro, small and medium enterprises, into the global value chains, supply chains. So in our discussions, and I must say this year, more than any other year, we've had contributions from the private sector. We've had small and medium enterprise, women entrepreneurs come in to the ministerial meetings and tell us the challenges that they're facing and how APEC can then contribute to making their business, facilitating their business. We've also had businesses come into the ministerials to say, here's what you've done for us, and the way you've done your trade facilitation initiatives, the business engagements that you've had, we've been able to connect with other businesses in the region. So we've had some good stories coming out of that, and we continue to engage with the private sector. This year, it's a very challenging year for all of us, not just in APEC. Across the globe, we see developments, that are happening, geopolitical tensions in different parts of the world. The value that we have in APEC is that we can still sit around the table with our differing views and still have conversations and focus on what needs to be done. At the end of the day, there is the aspects of developments that we can control, the aspects of development that we can't control. And what is important is really, as I said earlier, keeping an eye on why are we here? We're here to build this region which is dynamic and peaceful, and resilient. So if that's our goal, then having these conversations will be even more important. So this year, as challenging as it is, the fact that we can still get folks, economies, which varying views, diverse views, differing views in the room, having those candid conversations is, I think, the value that APEC brings and will continue to bring to the table. It is so important at this time that we have this meeting in San Francisco, given that APEC is a voluntary, non-binding organization. So we can have, I've said this many times, we can have those candid, really difficult conversations because the parties are at the table. So that's the value, and I'm hoping that we will see some progress towards this vision that we see for ourselves. It's so important that we bring the parties together, not to focus on the differences and what divides us, but to focus on what we have been doing this past few years for regional economic integration, for youth, for women, for indigenous peoples, for MSMEs. I think that's the message that we will want to see coming out of San Francisco. All the work that we've been doing to enhance digital transformation within APEC, structural reform within APEC to make it easier for us to do business. So to not only do business, but also to improve the lives of our citizens. Having meetings in different parts of the world, in different member economies, really brings an understanding of the culture, the way of life, the people. For APEC, one of our key things is connectivity, people-to-people connectivity. And really, yes, you can have good videos of an economy, good videos of the cities, you can watch it online, you can go and have YouTube videos, but it's different to being on the ground and interacting with people and really seeing for yourself and experiencing for yourself aspects of that economy. You get a better understanding of what it means to be APEC.
On behalf of the National Center for APEC and the Private Sector Host Committee, we look forward to welcoming you at the APEC CEO Summit this year. The APEC CEO Summit takes place alongside APEC Economic Leaders Week activities. It will be held on November 14th, 15th, and 16th at Moscone West Center in San Francisco, California, just across the street from the International Media Center. There's enormous enthusiasm this year for participants and planners connected to the CEO Summit. The summit will welcome 1,200 plus attendees and feature 30 government leaders and business leaders to discuss the key challenges facing the region and the world today. The private sector will come together focusing on the summit's core theme of creating economic opportunity for the people of the region. The summit will address issues that affect all communities in the region, ranging from climate change and equitable growth, mobility of workers and talent scarcity, to global health and supply chains. Conversations at the summit will have 4 supporting themes related to sustainability, inclusion, resilience, and innovation. This year, there are more than 25 sponsor companies, including co-chairs General Motors, Organon, and Visa. There will be media availability limited to official APEC CEO Summit media partners, international media pools, and participating APEC economy leader media pools. For media who do not receive accreditation for the APEC CEO Summit, don't worry, we'll ensure that there will be a live stream and access to materials available at the International Media Center at Moscone South. For full details on the APEC CEO Summit, please visit our website at apecceosummit2023.com. Thank you very much and look forward to a successful APEC Economic Leaders Week activities, including your participation in and around the APEC CEO Summit.
I hope that answered most, if not all, of your questions. We're always available for you. You can email us at media@apec2023sf.org anytime. I can't wait to meet you when you're here in San Francisco. Please come find me and say hi.